my friend, it's Pat Sloan here on a happy Wednesday. We are going to do Sweet Childhood Memories quilts by you and you and you. So we're going to have a quilt parade, and that'll be how we do for the most of the video, second part. And I want to say thank you and cheers to all of you that have given me Starbucks cards. This is what I have. And if you're wondering, I know people wonder, what do I normally order? It is a medium size, a grande, iced Americano. An Americano is brewed espresso with water, so it's not so strong, but it's stronger than regular coffee. And then I just put a little bit of soy, so it's a very low-cal drink, actually. So I appreciate that so much. Okay, we are going to first start out with the summer memories. Did you love the trunk show yesterday? I loved having those quilts. They're now boxed up. They're going on to the next locations. I have a box of the cross stitch going to one person and the quilts going to another place. And so they are boxed up, and Mr. Greg will be getting them taped up and ready to go tomorrow. So they don't stay here long. But I'm making my own of the baskets, and I have my second block done. So this is using my birdsong fabric. I am going to change strategies here a bit, because you have to make multiples of each style of block. This is a style of the basket. And then you might make three of these maybe. And I've only been cutting one. And so this next one, I am going to cut 3. So this is the next block. So you see it's a little bit different. And I'm going to cut all 3 of them, with 3 different sets of fabric. But that way it's done, and rather than me doing just one at a time. I always do one just to sort of get my feet wet, and now I'm ready to go ahead and do groupings, so I can sew groupings of them while I'm sewing other things, like Scrappiness is Happiness. This is all from this book, where it's a sampler from Lori Holt's book, and the sampler has a block from different quilts. And so we only have 3 blocks left, and our block this week will be at the top left, and then there's a tree on the other side of the house, and then there's a sewing machine here. I am going to switch out the sewing machine and do something else, either something like nature or a patchwork block, just because I don't want to put the sewing machine in mine. I want it to stay a little bit more nature-y feel. And I could have said that about the house, about the stocking cap, but I love the stocking cap, so I had to put it in. But I don't want the sewing machine for mine, so I will switch it out and find something else to put there. I'm not sure what. I have to look in. Well, I'm going to look in one of her other books and see what I can find that'll fit that spot. Okay, so we're going to look at the fabric I'm going to use to do, and it's a basket. Baskets. I am all about baskets this week. So let's go to the other side. It is the spring basket this week. There's the single block, which is so cute. And in repeat, well, here it is. You can see it made in the quilt. So that's really cute, isn't it? With the pink sashing between it. And it looks like, yeah, she did all turquoise baskets. So there you go. So you can see they're really cute. So mine, of course, will be a little bit different colors. I'm using that blue as the background. Here's the blue as my background. And then I think I will do, there's a little piece if I can use it. I think I'll do a gingham basket. So here's the block. So a gingham basket. And then the leaves will be this aqua. And then I think I'm going to do a yellow, I'm going to do a yellow, I said that twice now. I'm going to do a white, white flower. So I think it'll be a white flower. And then a little yellow pop in the middle. I might have to use maybe a darker yellow than that. I've got this one. I think I might do that. The square inside, right inside, that darker yellow. And then I'm going to see if I can get the handle out of this. The handle and the strip. See, there's a little strip across the basket. So the handle and the strip. I'm going to see if I can get all of it out of this dot, because that'll almost use this up. And I think that'll be really fun. Okay, so that's the plan. I'm going to sew it up. And I love it. This white flower with the yellow basket, but I had to change the basket. I had to change the basket fabric because I cut this one too short. I looked at a different measurement and I thought I checked it about 800 times and I still cut it wrong. So I had to go find a different fabric, but I like this fabric a lot. And this turned out great. I didn't worry about centering the dot exactly. I just tried to make it straight. That was pretty much my thing. I didn't want them like sort of like all cattywampus. Okay, now this will go in the upper left, and I'm not crawling up there on the ladder. So you can look on my website today and you'll be able to see this with the full quilt. Okay, let's go on to the main feature of today's movie. Quilts by You and You and You and You. Sweet Childhood Memories. Let's take a look. We are going to deep dive in with Annette's Sweet Childhood Memories to kick us off. And this is done in purple and teal. Isn't this fantastic? Look at that center block there with that one print with like the medallion in it. Or, you know, the fan, kind of the fan image. Well, she has that repeated. So look around. You can see it. Next is Carolyn, and she's got a red, white, and blue theme. There's some awesome stars in several other places. You can see instead of doing the tulip, she did a star section over there. So look at that. So cool. Cindy Lou, I love this. It also has a red, white, and blue, but a different feel, totally different feel. It's brought in that light blue, and she has some fun prints. There's an owl in the top left, and these big florals that are centered in the bigger blocks. I love it, love it, love it. Danielle's is gorgeous with a aqua sort of teal background in the blocks, and then look at her border. She did a lot of different prints on the outside half square triangles, but used her florals for the inside of the half square triangles, you know, where that's positioned on the inside. And those florals are repeated all through here. It's so effective when you do that, when you repeat a fabric. Debbie's, oh, look at this. It's so cool. More purple and aqua and green and some pops of pink and burgundy. Just so cool. And look at her border. She did the same two fabrics, and then she worked on positioning. So they were all pretty much positioned on the, you know, the dot on the same side with the lighter dot and the darker dot. So that's really cool. DH, this is finished. Like, let's give a huge shout out. Finished, and binding and everything. So she put an extra border on it. You see that? With the inner border and then an outer border. And then a print for the binding, which is probably the print that's used in the floral used in the quilt. So cool. Love that. Love that cheddar yellow in there. Gail's is so beautiful. It's very summery, feels happy. It's got a lot of cute fabrics in it. I like the bottom left there, that daisy. And then for the border, she went simple. She did squares on two of the corners in an asymmetrical. Very, very effective. Less time. Yeah, I know. Less time. I hear you on the half square triangles. Jan's is beautiful. Lots of pinks and blues in there. And then she has some, looks like Holly Hobby fabrics. I'm going to scroll in. Yes. Those are so cute in the center of some of the, it's called Holly Hobby, right? Or Holly Hobbit? I can't remember. I was an adult when that was going on, but it is so cute. Just darling. Jeanette's is wonderful. Look at the blue. She pulled her blue out, her sort of darker, two shades of darker and a little bit lighter for her border. And then her sashings have the aqua and yellow. So she did like I was, with just kind of two fabrics for the sashings. Looks so good. Karen, I think this is Karen number 1 of 3 in a row. So I really love this. The red polka dot. It's polka dots, of course. I love it. But she has snowman fabric, and then she used it in some bigger areas, repeated it around at all the blocks, and then you can see in the borders she added the snowman fabrics in the middle. That is so cute. Such a great idea. Okay, Karen number 2. She went with peach on her border. Her inner border is yellow, and I really love these soft colors. They are just beautiful. You can see some really pretty florals, and she mixed up her background, so you can look around and see how she ended up with that. Great job. And Karen number 3. It feels like a game show. So here, look at the border on pink. The pink for like the background, the outside portion, and then she has what's probably black, which is pulled from the blocks. There's lots of black in the blocks, and they just look fantastic. Just fantastic. She has some really great prints in there. Okay, we're still in the K's. We have Katie with a lot of really gorgeous, gorgeous fabrics. That border fabric is so pretty. And then inside she's got some plaids, some big florals in the centers to showcase them, and little pops of peach. I really like the addition of the peach in there. Catherine's is so gorgeous. She has used, and I'm pointing out the borders a lot because they're really important to how I think everything pulls together. She's used some prints that go in different colors through all the blocks so that you can see kind of this sparkly fabric. And then there's a lot of black in here, so she used a black and white print for kind of the outside portion of the half square triangles she used in the border, which I think turned out super good. Kay's, oh my goodness, Kay is using this fabric line that I have, and every time one of you show a quilt with it, I think, why didn't I make anything with that? I need to make something, and I love it. It's got those apples you can see in the center of the one block, grays and peaches, and again black and white, and it just looks so fabulous. Let's see, Linda made hers a little bit bigger. She added some blocks, and so for those of you wondering how that would look, there you go. And it looks super good. I mean, it looks like it's designed this way. So you can add blocks to this type of quilt without affecting how the balance of it is. It turns out really, really wonderful. Margaret did the same thing. She expanded hers slightly differently, a little bit different approach, because she added other blocks of her own. She added a panel, a house is not a home without a cat, and then she added a cat block and some, looks like a couple other things she designed. So there is another way. Then her border, she did a different kind of setting with the half square triangles and then another outer border. But look, they're just great. It's a great way to do things if you want to expand it. Mary Jane is making me smile with this yellow and red. Lots and lots of yellow. I just love yellow. And it's got ladybugs on it. And there's little bees. And then she has some dog prints. The tulip, the bottom half, is a dog print, which she's also used several places. It's so cool. I love it. Patricia's is beautiful, just soft and pretty, but I should point out a few things. Look at her inner border around the whole thing. That's some great big hexagon, and that just looks so, so good. Then she used gingham in her sashings, and her border is using just 2 fabrics, which is very effective. It just turned out wonderful. Peg is all green. I love it. We don't see all green quilts very often. For those of you making them, maybe you should share some today. But she used a darker green for her border, and I think that's very effective on this quilt. It really pulls it all in and ties it together. Now we have a Peggy, and look how cute this is. And it is just happy. She has really cheerful fabrics. They are a lot of blue, purples, reds, some peach. I love it. It looks so good. Okay, Cindy's. This has such like a watercolory feel to me. There's some of the fabrics in there. The prints themselves are just soft and beautiful. And then she has like a fabric line with some images. So there are 2 people dancing, and there's a castle. So I love it. Looks so good. Sandy's is very a happy quilt, such a happy quilt. And for those of you wondering what it will look like with just fabric for the border, here you go. It's effective. It looks fantastic. She also used this darker blue in her sashing. That she used a little bit in the blocks, but she reserved it mostly for the sashing, like I was reserving my colors. And so that turned out super good. I love it. Sarah's is gorgeous. She's got black and gold. That black and gold with peach and teal. Just the whole palette is wonderful, and it goes really well with her rug. So I'm thinking maybe this is a color grouping that she likes to decorate with in her home. Shirley is blue, blue, everything blue. She's using fabric from my friend Christopher Thompson, and it is fantastic. So she has a lot of medium to lighter blues and then pops of darker blue in there. And it all turned out so wonderful. Got a little stripe in there for the tulip. Love it. Sonia's is another one that's very soft and pretty. She has a lot of like thin stripes that are angled. So look at them on the blocks. The top right, the center, there's another one down the bottom right. Very effective. And then she also has a fabric with a little girl with a swan, and just turned out so cute. Okay, Stephanie's she's rocking the border. Look at this border. She did flying geese, and they're alternating colors. So there's a green flying geese and a navy flying geese, and then repeating it. So it gives this look. And I want you to remember this because we're going to see another quilt with this, but done differently. So keep it in mind. I love, love, love it. Turned out so good. Susan, this is another really happy quilt. She used a lot of different colors, but I love how the orange came in here. That just speaks to me. And then in her border on the half square triangles, she used a lot of different fabrics. She didn't, she pulled from the inside and used those same colors again, and I think it turned out fantastic. Very effective. Susan, we have, this is the second Susan. Okay. If you're wondering, can you use a novelty or a themed fabric? Well, here you go. It's a perfect example, and it's spectacular. This is a snowman fabric. Look at the green center, the red center, and then the bottom left again. There's candy canes on the tulips, and it is so effective and looks so darn good. That just makes me want to do a sampler with Christmas fabric in, June. Not this year. Suzette has aqua and green. It is so beautiful. It looks just calming, like you're looking out at a beautiful lake or at the ocean. Just love it. The whole thing turned out so wonderful. Teresa, here's that border again. Blah, blah, blah. I can't talk. Here's that border again. But she only used two fabrics. She didn't do the alternating green and blue like the other quilt. She kept it all the same fabric, and that fabric has stamps on it. This is just so fantastic. That stamp fabric is done with the yellow, with the pink, with the blue. Well, maybe not that blue, but then this with the multicolor. It's everywhere in here with other novelty things, and this is so amazing. It just looks so good. Thank you for sharing. Teresa is finished. Red, white, and blue, and it has a binding on it. And she, if you're wondering about maybe leaving the tulip out for yours, she did a chevron in like a braid in the place of the tulip, which looks really good. So that was a good way to change it up. Okay, just a couple more. Here's Trisha's. I love it. It has really jewel tone, rich colors. It's got little pops of orange and peach. And then again, on her border, she took all the different colors and put it out there. And it just works so well with this quilt. And she did a darker inner border, which I think also works really well with what she did with her colors. Trina's is another with a border of just fabric, and it looks so good. Now she has a lot of it looks like she might have been using a fabric line because the florals look like they're all sort of the same colors and same feel. But her border, she sewed the inner and the outer border together first, and then she could put in a big wide cornerstone on the corners. And that is really, really cool. So if you are looking to try something a little bit different, you might want to do that. And our last one for today is another blue quilt. Blue, blue, everything blue. A little bit different than the other one, has different feel, has a little bit lighter blues that maybe lean towards gray, or at least in the photo. And it looks so fantastic. I just love it. Thank you everybody for sharing all your amazing and wonderful quilts. Thank you everyone for sharing your quilts. There are so many more over at Quilt Along with Pat Sloan at Facebook. So be sure you go over and check them all out. Okay, remember to go over to my website and enter for one of the 3 books that Fat Quarter Shop is giving away, and make some blocks today for your basket quilt. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.